Bob's Reso room. We're going to do a nice capo shootout here today. We've got several capos lined up. And Dobro capos are an interesting world. I've seen a lot of different designs over the years, some really good, some not so good. But we've got 4 here that we're going to kind of compare and contrast. So let's start with the Walworth. This is a great capo. I used to use it quite a bit. And I like how easy it goes on. We're going to put it on at the 7th fret here, and you just put it in between the 3rd and 4th strings. Rotate it, and you just have to kind of eyeball it and get it right over the fret, and then it clamps down very easily. And let's see how it sounds. Okay, I think I pulled it a little bit out of tune. Let me try and get that a little bit straighter. Yeah, so that... I like it. It sounds really clean. No buzzes. And goes on really quick, which I like. And you could almost do it. Let's try that again. You can almost do it. I guess you need 2 hands, yeah. But it goes on quite quickly and simply. So that is the Walworth. I give that pretty high marks. I like the Walworth. All right, next we have the Beard capo, made by Paul Beard. And these are great also. Go on the same way, really. Just slide it between the 3rd and 4th strings and rotate it and line it up on the fret. This one you have to hold a little more, I think, with your right hand as you tighten that screw and get it on there really good. Wow, that sounds great. Really clean, no intonation problems. And even a little cleaner sounding, I think. Yeah, that sounds really great. It's a little bit harder to put on because you definitely need 2 hands. And it's a little more work to get on, but once you get it on and get this really tight, it's got a great sound. So that's the Beard capo. I give that one pretty high marks also. Okay, next we have, this is one of my favorites, and it looks a little more to this one. This is the Shubb capo. And but what's nice about it, I think it helps. I think this is my favorite sounding capo. But it's a little more work to get on. You gotta kind of put it under the strings there, line it up on the fret, and you notice it clamps under the neck. And so when you tighten that, perfectly in tune, very warm sound, there's no buzzes. And what I also like about this capo is there's not much going on top of the strings, and so it just doesn't get in your way of your left hand as you're playing. One thing I don't like about this capo is that when you go to another fret, sometimes you have to adjust the tension here on the clamp. And so if we go to the 3rd fret with this capo. Whoops, light it up a little better. Yeah, actually that worked pretty well. I didn't have to readjust it. Yeah, actually that sounds great. Sounds really clean. Now the problem with this one, if I'm sitting down, if I want a capo at the 4th fret, is that it kind of gets in the way of my knee, actually. So when I clamp that down, and then I do have to loosen it because the neck of the Dobro is thicker here, and so I have to loosen this clamp a little bit. So, but once you get it on there, it sounds great, but it's a little bit in the way of my knee now, under the neck. So that's something that, it's not the end of the world, but not something that I really like, honestly. But I do, this is probably the capo I use the most, but I typically just use the capo at the 8th fret, at the 2nd fret if I use it at all. And so this is kind of my go-to capo these days, the Shubb capo. And I've got one more here. This is called Charlie's Pro Slide Capo. And this is a really, you really can put this capo on with one hand. You just slide it in between the 3rd and 4th strings, spin it around, and then just push in with your index finger. It has a sliding lock mechanism here, and you're all set. Very clean sounding, maybe not quite as warm as the Shubb capo, but for ease of installation, it's pretty hard to beat Charlie's capo. And this is one I've used a lot over the years also. And so you have several options there. They all do different things differently well. I'd say the Charlie's is probably my favorite overall, and then I really like the Shubb capo as far as the tone that I get out of it. I think I use the Shubb most of all. But I hope that helps shed a little light on the world of Dobro capos. And we do have all these capos for sale on our website, bigmusictent.com. And if you have any questions about them, you can write us there at the website. All right, well, we'll see y'all down the road. Have fun with your Dobro playing.